Okay.
What's popping? What's dropping? This your boy, live and direct, in absolute full effect out the 832. Y'all already know how Jimmy J Smooth do. I'm here live and direct in full effect with my boy out the 662, and y'all already know how he do. What's popping and what's dropping, brother?
Man, not much, man. It's storming like Norman here in Mississippi, man, in South Haven. Shoot, I had to come back from where I was because at first I was up at Books A Million for a minute, and it kind of cleared up for a while. Then, man, when I stepped in and stuff like that, man, it wind and rain started picking up and shit, and shoes got wet. Like I don't know, shoes and everything got wet. So that's not pretty. But man, we're gonna go ahead and as everybody know, the NBA playoffs have started today. We already got our first round upset that I boldly called, that I said that Brooklyn was gonna beat the Sixers in game one. So I ain't gonna talk about them. But we are gonna be giving our take on the playoffs. We're gonna be talking about a couple spring games, something. And I watched a little bit of the Memphis spring game. Let's just say I'm kind of sort of impressed on them. Jimmy J has some issues he has to address as well as I, including the first ever Craig edition of Bar Etiquette. As I, along with Jimmy Jam, will share our thoughts about what some of you people that work in sports bars and restaurants need to do, especially with your bar. So we're going to share thoughts on that. And also, we're going to share about why, and this is something what I want to know, and everybody can feel free to put in a live chat. Why are parents deciding to go way too extra when it comes to prom?
Okay.
But first and foremost, we got to start with a fan question that was sent to me, and it was for you, Jimmy.
Okay. Go right ahead.
And it comes from Miss Sylvia. She didn't say where, she didn't give her location where she was. And the title of it is, Jimmy, please take the wheel.
Okay.
She said, hello, Craig. Hello, Jimmy. She said, first and foremost, she said, Craig, I'd like to apologize. She said, because I know you said that you normally take questions for your Let's Draw on something, but I missed Jimmy McWright's email on his last live stream, and I figure I'd send it to you. I have a dilemma that I need to know. Let alone I have a problem that I would like for Jimmy or either you two to address. I'm currently a 26-year-old black woman who has her own self-made business. I have my own boutique shop. I have friends that say that they will support me, or let alone my own black people. They say they'll support me. Well, I don't see it. Lately, my demographic in my boutique shop has been making lots of money. Is because my business has lately been catering to the white crowd, the white Caucasian crowd, mainly the elderly, the retired people, and also with the Hispanic community as well. But every now and then, when I see a black person come in my boutique shop, I rarely get business from them, as they will complain about my prices being too high and too steep, or my work doesn't look authentic or genuine.
Uh-huh.
This is Jimmy, to me. I think this is a big insult to me, let alone not just to me, but to self-made black business owners that wants to own their own stuff, whether it's boutique clothing or whatever. I feel this really needs to change. When you ask a black person, excuse me, she said, I feel that when you ask a black person to support you, it's more like saying, yeah, I'll support you, yeah, but then behind your back, they're knocking you. I feel this has to end. And what's sad, what sickens me the most is the fact that our own black people does this all the time. I want to know, why is that? And I also want to know, Jimmy, what do I have to do to rectify this problem? Thank you, and God bless. Sylvia?
Let me start off with this damn question. I mean, with this particular question. Anyway, with this particular thing, there's not too much you can do. My best answer to that is make your money. If Mexicans will support your shit, you know, cater to them. If white people will support your shit, cater to them. If Asian people will support your shit, cater to them. Don't run this like the welfare line. Don't run your business like a welfare line. If you're getting business from white people, that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It's good to be, when it comes to being a business person, you have to be as international as possible. Now, don't be a coon. Don't buck your eyes. Don't tap dance. Don't do the Sambo shuffle, in my words of Ticket TV. You know what I'm saying? And don't be no Uncle Tom. But get your money. Because one of my favorite restaurants, probably the best barbecue place in Houston, what's that mug? Vergie's. Off of Gessner, not too far from where my job is located at. Vergie's.
Shout out to Gessner. Vergie's.
Vergie's. That's his name is Vergie's.
Vergie's. Shout out to Vergie's.
Vergie's. I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head, but you know, this restaurant is named after his mother. So if anybody from Houston, they know who it is. The best barbecue place in Houston, hands down. He has a similar problem. His problem is pretty much the same thing you have. But the good thing is it is some black people that goes to his restaurants. Let's not get it twisted. But most of the people I see in there is Hispanics and whites. A good thing for him. I want to see that brother makes his money. You know, the brother has been at the Memphis and May barbecue contest, been at the Texas barbecue contest, been at the Texas State Fair barbecue contest. He's been at every barbecue contest and has outdid everybody. He's been at number one. He's gotten to the point to where he don't even do barbecue competitions no more because it's pointless. And I agree with him. Because when you taste the ribs, taste the meat off the bone, it's all good. But he has a similar problem. Let's not get it twisted. And when me and my boy Phil, shout out to my boy Phil, you know who you are. You know, when we come in that motherfucker, we're typically the only black people or one of 5 black people in there. You know what I'm saying? But get your money. You know, don't run it like it's the welfare line. Don't run it like it's the shuck and jive place. Don't run it. Don't run it like business is business. That's one thing you got to understand. But don't coon. That's the thing. Do not be a coon. You know what I'm saying? Get your money. If a certain group will cater to your shit, good. Sometimes that's just the way it is. Sometimes your black people is not going to support you. And sometimes that can be a good thing. Now, when I see a black business personally, I like to support it. Some of my favorite restaurants in Houston, which I feel like is the best restaurants in Houston, the best fried chicken place, in my personal opinion, is Gus Fried Chicken in Frenchie's. I think Frenchie's is better than Gus's, but that could be debated. That could be debated either way. But I still
remains to be seen.
Yeah, but I still support those two restaurants because I like it. But the thing is, a lot of black people have slave mentalities. And when they see another black person that's doing good, they want to hate on it. You know what I'm saying? They want to try to sabotage that situation. You know what I'm saying? So that's something you have to be prepared for. Basically, most black business people, for the most part, you know, it's a rare situation because Nipsey had the support of black community, you know, prior to his death. Rest in peace. I'm gonna talk more about him a little bit into it later, but I've discussed him before. But black people got behind the Marathon store. Black people got behind the little stores that was in his thing. So that's case in example. But you don't have to make that an excuse. You don't, just because black people ain't supporting you, that's not an excuse for you not to be successful. Sometimes white people like good products and they be like, shit, I'm gonna fuck with it. That's just the way it is. I'm pretty sure you're either a restaurant or you're a damn good business.
But let me hold the thought. But she did say in the thing that, you know, she does bring in some good business. I mean, she for herself. Like she's not, she hasn't been reviewed, but she does bring in good business for herself. She's kind of like mobile and stuff, but she's looking to do, like get a store and everything. Kind of like a street vendor type thing. Yeah, that's why she does her own boutique business, and and I feel, and I mean, that's what I say, hold your thought. I feel Sylvia going in the right direction. You got to start from the bottom before you make it to the top. Exactly. Do your business out in the street. Go to a flea market or something. Then if you get some, if you get some, save enough bread and get you a small office space, or rental space, or whatever. If it's not too fucking high, just so do it. So, like I said, she's pretty mobile. Like I said, she didn't give a location where she was, which is understandable, and we're not going to hound her about that. And that's what I said. When you send these questions, when the listeners send questions in, you don't have to put your city in if you don't want to, or you can just put your state or whatnot. But and another thing I'm gonna add into that, once Jimmy leaves his mic alone, don't bullshit yourself.
Exactly.
That is really, and I'm not saying that this one person's name and I know them. Don't bullshit yourself as far as how you do your business. Meaning, if you making enough money, that don't mean you stop, man. You keep it going.
Exactly.
Don't bullshit yourself. Don't come with no little not throwing no shade at somebody that I know. Don't come with no little bullshit ass. Don't be talking about some bullshit ass retirements and all that other shit. Because the worst person you can try, I always say, and I told this person, the worst person that you really will have the balls to try not to fool and be crazy enough to do it anyway, and you'll suffer the consequences will be me.
Exactly.
Don't fool me. You may fool your customers about you retiring, and then you turn around and you get back in business. But don't come talking about you retiring. Now, the only way I can see you saying that, hey, I'm going to stop doing this, is because you got family issues, health issues, or anything else. But don't get on your fucking Twitter, I would say, or whatever, to announce, hey, I'm retiring my boutique business. Cause I feel like I ain't making no money, cause I just feel like John and the customers. No, you really lose business like that if you keep throwing some shit out like that. So that's what I mean by don't bullshit yourself.
Exactly.
But go ahead with your, and I'm done with that part. But go ahead and finish saying what you were saying, Jimmy, in that regard. Jimmy.
Hold on. Yeah, my mic got fucked up. But no.
Just make sure you keep doing what you're doing in terms of business, and if certain group of people that's gonna support your shit, rock with them. And like I say, a lot of black people out here, when they see black people successful, there's a lot of coons out here that see a successful black person and they'll start hating. And it's just in a lot of black people. You know what I'm saying? That when you do be successful, people gonna hate. You know what I'm saying? That's something you're gonna deal with. I mean, you just have to accept it for what it is. But that shouldn't stop your business. That shouldn't stop you from doing business. You know what I'm saying? Do your business professionally and treat your customers professionally. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, a lot of these black people have a slave mentality when they see another black person doing well. And, just don't dwell on that. Just get your money and do your thing. And don't try to pander to these hating ass motherfuckers. Because black people is like that all the time. Black people will be like, your prices is too high. But you'll go to a motherfucking Korean store and get your ass whooped for a fucked up horsehair lace front. Yeah, I'm calling you motherfuckers out. And I'm talking about the coons who do this, not all black people, because some black people ain't got sense enough, but they'll go to the Arab store and go do be doing business through a fucking glass window. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and shout out to Trey Murphy. Memphis' own Trey Murphy, because he said the same thing. Because I always shoot on him. I see no motherfucker said like a guy insulted. I told the story plenty of times about a guy had a nerve to insult him in front of his face by saying he can get better looking and made stuff than that up at Pro Image or whatever these little things than what he was selling. But you know, like you said, you go to a place like Pro Image, and you're gonna be paying double for what my boy Murphy's gonna originally sell you for a cheaper price.
Exactly.
You know, and that's really the problem. That's really the problem with all black folks. Exactly. You know, and then they also, and here's another thing, and Sylvia, and I'm also gonna chime in on this as well. Cooning is also in a business way. Yeah, cooning is another little. It's a synonym for it in black people terms. When Jimmy said, "Don't be cooning," don't do that, because from reading your little thing, I can tell that you straightforward on the narrow. Maybe it's your friends that all the coons that's hating on you and taking their business elsewhere. Don't ass kiss.
Exactly. Don't
do that. We ain't gonna get no long drawn reason about it. Don't do no ass kiss.
Exactly.
Because if you feel you got to ass kiss to get business, you ain't gonna get no business.
Yeah, have posture.
Don't do it.
Have posture like my mentor would always tell me, Dr. Jerry Bobo, shout out to him. Have posture when it comes to your business. You know, ain't nothing wrong with trying to cater to black people, but don't ass kiss. And don't let no coons who have self-hate toward themselves stop you from grinding. Sometimes you're gonna have to go to other people just to get good business. And if your price is too high for a motherfucker, we'll tell them motherfuckers to go down to the Chinese, Korean, and Japanese store and get their motherfucking ass whooped.
Or the Habibis.
Exactly.
Or go do the Beeb and get the same thing for cheap for like $5.
And on the side note, man, Negroes got to get to the point to where they got to stop that coon ass bullshit. When a motherfucker do something to your people, your community, you know, beat up one of your people in their own store, and they're supposed to be in our community, you know what I'm saying? Stop going to that motherfucker.
Thank you.
You got too many coons out here that will continue to patronize businesses that don't give a shit about people that looks like them. We got to cut that bullshit out as well. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Shout out to Sylvia. Keep making your money. If I see your business, I might get a little Prince Jerry Curl. You know, she said as a boutique. I may get a Prince Jerry Curl if I see your business in my city, man. You know what I'm saying? And to the listeners, I'm gonna get me a Jerry Curl next month to celebrate one of my favorite boxers, Don Curry, who finally got his ass in the Hall of Fame. And I'm gonna clown these motherfuckers in the Hall of Fame. You should have been had this motherfucker in the goddamn Hall of Fame. This dude was the first man to single-handedly win all 3 titles before it became a 4 title undisputed thing. But he was the first guy to single-handedly win the undisputed championship single-handedly. Because Michael Spinks, Marvin Hagler was grandfathered into the IBF championship. He took the IBF championship from every champion. So shout out to Donald Curry, man. I'm gonna get me a Jerry Curl to represent his boxing Hall of Fame, because I've been clowning the boxing Hall of Fame for years. So I'm gonna get me a Jerry Curl in celebration of him, man. But do you got anything else on this subject?
No, I'm done with that one, because that more was a question to you. So Sylvia, you asked Jimmy to please take the wheel on this. He drove it forward. So let's just put it like this. He drove the car for you. It's good. Now it's your turn.
Exactly.
So keep doing it. So we ain't mad with you about and all this and that. I know it's kind of worrying you, but I'm gonna tell you the same thing what he said. Make your bread and move on. If your friends don't want to support you, and quote Bernie Mac, fire them. You make your fire them. Now, don't nobody want to support you. Worry about Sylvia, man. Make your bread, and then when you start getting into Black Enterprise or whatnot, or whatever, or if you get page in Essence, a little ad-free page in Essence or whatever. Yes, they still have Essence magazine, and I will admit I read Essence magazine from time to time because of the articles. Because the last one I had the chick from Insecure, she's on the cover, so I read something about her. Interesting read, Jimmy. That you know, she's a real interesting person. But you might see face on there. They see face. Ooh, girl, Sylvia done made it in Essence, girl. I need to get back talking to her. No, you don't need to get back doing nothing. You need to just get back to doing what you do best. Stay in your lane and hate them, because the more you hate, the more she gonna succeed. So if your friends don't want to support you, fuck them. Exactly. Make your bread, make your bread, pay your bills, and worry about you. And treat yourself out tonight on time. Now, and I have one. Oh, this is a good one. This one's for me. It's entitled Craig the Angry Guy. And this comes from what's the initials? BC in Memphis, Tennessee. So she said, "What's up, Craig? Lately I've been hearing, I've been going back recapping some of your Let's Draw on Somethings, and in some episodes are good, while others, they were very on point, and you shared some little angry field experiences at times. And then after hearing stories about you, you know, there has been more negative and positive. But the first thing that did catch my ear was at times you can be an angry person. What I want to know is, what is the real and true Craig L. Smith II is? So how about it, BC? All right, BC, I'm going to tell you how I am. I may be angry at times, but I'm real. Okay? There's nothing fake about me. Nothing at all. You can ask this guy that is currently the co-host of my show when I get it back to running about how I am. He known me 15 years. I got friends that know me for over 20. They know I'm old school as I can be. You know, hey, I change with the times, but as far as how I change, I remain the same. Now, granted, you know, I have went through some things and went through some hard things in life that I really had no business going through, ranging from both of my parents to the family and to with people at whether it was in the military or at work or whatever. You know, I have been vocal about how I feel about some folks that been in the military. And do I feel the same way about them now? I don't know. But they say time heals all wounds, so to speak. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes, but here's the spin of it. At times, time does heal the wounds, but it's up to the person whether or not they want to keep adding more salt to it. You know, I don't add salt to a whole lot of wounds, stuff like that. Some people may say I do, but I don't. I'm more outspoken. That's why a lot of people don't like me. You know, don't particularly like my ass. If I see somebody being done wrong, I'm gonna speak out on it whether somebody like it or not. You know, like Jimmy's and I's former employer. You had certain managers, and I work for one on day. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm not gonna say her name, but it was for the MCO flight during the day over in Mega Hub. She would talk to some people like they were fucking children. Okay, I didn't like that. It was more like that old fucked up economy that most children had growing up, talking about the adage about children should be seen and not heard. Well, that was how she would roll by it, and I didn't play that shit. You know, if I saw a coworker of mine being done wrong or whatnot by her, I'm gonna speak out on it. If I feel that she doing me wrong in a sense of sorting, and she wanted, and I'll admit she would, like I said, she had some good points, but at times, sometimes she wanted to try you. Several times she tried to get tough with me. Oh, she met her match. I got tough with her. I got even tougher than her. So, and I'm not thin skinned. All right, I'm more tough skinned. And it's advisable. And people can tell you. Jimmy can tell you. Who else? A couple good buddies of mine. Murph can tell you, depending on my boy Trey Murphy can tell you about how I am, depending on his mood of the day. You know, at times I can be antisocial. I can be, but I know how most people are, because, you know, like I'll say, for example, like, you know, I was married for I had several cups of coffee in my marriage. 3 cups of coffee mean like years, a brief time. Met some folks, my ex-wives, man, they were pretty cool. And I sensed something, but I sensed the ones that was just outright fucking fake. And believe me, man. And some of the folks that I peeked out that she would hang around with, I would wait till we be like gone from the house and tell them, that so just about as fake on a $35 bill. You know, I can separate the real from the fake. Now, a lot of people have called me fake, which is a bunch of bullshit. That's a lie. That's a lie. And they say, and I always tell them, look, if you're going, before you tell a lie on me, have proof. Don't have no hearsay proof. I want you to have proof on your own. I mean, generate your proof on your own about how I did this and how I did that. And if you can't generate no proof on your own, keep it moving. You know, hold on a second.
Go ahead.
So, you know, but as far as me being angry, I'm not angry. I mean, at one point in time, like, angry is code for saying that somebody is unapproachable. I'm a very approachable person. Some people don't think that, but I'm a very approachable person. Now, granted, at times I don't like to be bothered about a lot of shit. Like, if I'm trying to get something done for myself, I don't like to be bombarded with a lot of remedial, trivial things that'll get me to a point that'll make my ass snap. That has happened to me a couple times recently, and I don't get into detail about that. But no, man, just some, you know. But BC, don't believe what you know. And I'm gonna tell you this: if a person don't have a good note, not a good thing to say about me, cut them short.
I agree.
Because if it's more negative than it is positive, then it's in ways it's like, you know, like they understand, like, okay, like in my last job where I was at, like I said, good people, but man, but for some reason, man, you know, you come, you know, folks come in with different attitudes. Now, I ain't talking about the food job, Jim. I'm talking about where I was at in Alabama, in Huntsville, Madison. Great people I work with, but you know, you always got them ones, man, that they like to assume shit. You know, they like to assume shit about a person instead of getting to know a person. They want to stick to the people that they know through them and stuff like that. You know, and it's not a knock. You know, like I said, I had a supervisor, man. I'll admit it, great guy, but it doesn't take a lot to rub me the wrong way. And this is where he rubbed me the wrong way on some things. I said on the thing, he rubbed me the wrong way on my last review. All right, before he had left. And it even rubbed my last supervisor that I had, which he was my first supervisor when I got the job. Okay. So, because let me explain that. I'm going to explain how it goes. My last supervisor was my first supervisor when I started. The supervisor that left, they had merged both shifts all in the one, so to speak. So I was up under the next guy while my first supervisor had his crew. You get my drift? Hello?
What's going on? Shit. Oh, it's on, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I was saying, you got my drift what I was saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. So when, like I said, when my first and last supervisor had got the previous supervisor's review of me, and with some of the things that were said about me, man, I didn't, I really didn't appreciate that. And it kind of makes you think like, oh, Craig, he's an unreliable employee. Like, oh, he can't get to work and stuff on time. Like, don't tell me you understand shit 1 minute, but then you turn around and you say something else different. I can't trust you. Yeah. That's like, okay, Jimmy, if I'm your boss, and if I'm understanding your situation about what's going on with your transportation issue, I'm not gonna hold that against you on your review. So what the fuck? I mean, but if you're gonna turn and say something, try to sell me something in my face, but then you turn around, you put it something different on paper, you're selling something different on paper, I can't trust you. And that's the same with me with all people. I really can't trust people. And then some like with my dating life, my dating life has been pretty good, stuff like that. Not now, it hasn't. Now that I've been divorced now, but we and Jimmy and I, we talked about that on our previous episode. But overall, let me say this, BC. Sometimes if cut them short, when a person tell you something negative about me more than anything. And then here's another thing. And I know where you work. They still stuck on what my late father told them about me. And it's the thing is about like,
And what's that?
More negative. About them saying that he don't do what I tell him to do. Well, first of all, I'm grown. I don't do what the fuck nobody want me to do. I do what I do. Like if you gonna like, I ain't gonna forget this one instance. It was thrown up my face several times. That man got that man got mad with me for spending my money on something I need to take care of instead of what he wanted me to take care of, and I wasn't gonna get it back. And I'm like, well, so you got a problem with that? And that's why I approached the person like, okay, so you got a problem with that? No, but I'm just saying. They'd be like, no, I'm just saying, no, but you ain't answer my question. Do you have a problem with that? It's a yes or no question. Tell me how you really feel. Yeah, I got a problem with it. Okay, what's the problem? Well, you ain't do what your father asked you. I said, well, first of all, okay. I said, let me stop you right there for a minute. I'm gonna kill this. First of all, I'm grown. Yeah, I stay in his. I live up under his roof. But as long as I'm contributing, that's all that matters. Now, if he wanted me to contribute to something else, what the fuck he ain't got no business doing, I ain't doing that shit. And I am entitled, and and I told the person, I am entitled to spend my money on what I need to do, as long as it's not no more foolishness. If it's the fruits of my labor. If I want to go out and buy me a new video game, that was my
Exactly.
If I want to go out to Isaac Hayes when it was open back then, the Peabody Place, treat myself to a chicken Alfredo and a draft beer and enjoy a comic. The evening, if you will, or from now on for probably from now on for my life, that's my business. I'm not entitled to just work and not have nothing of my own, and not really enjoy the fruits of my labor, so to speak. I have a right to do that. And nowhere it says in the Constitution where you ain't got a right to do what you got to do.
Totally agree with that. I totally agree with that.
So, but the answer to that, but the answer to BC's question, hey, sometimes don't. But if it's more positive than negative, roll with it. But if they come with you with more negative, don't believe it. I'm telling you how I am because I know how I am better than most people do. Jimmy knows how I am. Like I said, depending on his mood, Trey Murphy knows how I am. My boy, big shout out to him, Mario Smith. I've been friends with Mario since 8th grade at Hamilton Middle.
Yeah,
they know how I am. He knows how I am. some schmuck that's about 23, 22 years old can't tell you what the fuck I did in my life.
Yeah.
You know, because when I was their age, 22 years old, and when they were like what 4, they still was in pull-ups, still shitting on themselves when they pull-ups. So what can they tell you about me? Nothing. They can't tell you anything personal about me with stuff that I share experiences. Now, granted, I've had some that ask me about how they would handle certain situations as far as a female or a guy or whatever from a guy's perspective, stuff like that. But they can't tell you what I did all my life unless I tell them. So I'm not an angry person. I'm just straight. I'm just a straight up dude. Just a straight up dude. As I put it, like for my upcoming memoir, I am the worst non-likable, most likable person that anyone can ever get to know.
I feel you, bro.
So, but enough of the fan questions. Let's roll on what you want to roll with, Jimmy, Nipsey.
Well, one of the things I was interested in Suge Knight had brought up a very good point, and I actually said this, that in an interview with TMZ, I'm going to go to the TMZ interview, you know, the game acute, hold on, let me see. That's not it. I'm going to go to the exact thing he said. Let me scroll down on the TMZ. Okay. He said, Suge Knight said he get why he was a target because he was loyal to the hood. Nipsey was caught in between enormous success and love for his neighborhood. Like other rappers, that ultimately cost him his life in the eyes of Suge Knight. Knight told TMZ he fully understands the situation. Like a lot of artists, he had the same problem in the neighborhood. We are too loyal, and he said, even if you have enough money to move, you know what I'm saying, you want to stay on the block when you around Hollywood because it's all watered down. The former Death Row mogul says he loved to go back to his hood and get chili cheese and fries and strawberries and talk to his little homies. However, he adds that you need the homies to help you survive. His insinuation is clear and controversial. But the people closest to Nipsey could have done more to keep him safe, which I'm in total agreement with that.
Oh, hell yeah. I ain't got nothing negative. Despite some of the negative I had said about Suge Knight in the past, privately to myself and on Facebook and others, it's raining. I agree with him on that.
Yeah,
I agree with him on that.
Totally agree with them on that in particular. And I said that on the air. They should have did a better job. The whole hood should have did a better job of protecting this kid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I feel like, you know, it's so many things I could say about that, but it's like, damn, he gone and shit like that. But for future references, we need to do a better job of protecting people, especially when they get out the hood, when they're providing for the hood. Because, I mean, when people give back, this man was giving back for many years. It wasn't, you know, he just recently, the victory lap was the thing that put him on the mainstream map. But he's been a millionaire since he got in the rap game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, because he made a lot.
He said that trip back to Africa changed his outlook on life. You know.
Yeah,
he had the biggest wake up call.
And not just that, according to his brother, the landlord, the original landlord of the lot that he owned, the Marathon store, was trying to put him out. So he was like, he went on, got the money, and bought him out. And another thing, I want to shout out to the game, to T.I. I think it's somebody else. I want to say 50 Cent, but I could be wrong. But I know
T.I., 50 Cent, Meek Mill.
Meek Mill came together and bought the Marathon store. So respect to those guys. We need more people that's doing shit like that. I respect all 4 of you men for stepping up the game and keeping that store black on. I can't do nothing but respect that shit. And when I get back to LA, I'm going to that hoe. You know what I'm saying? And I'm bringing my goons, so you can't run up on me, because I know some goons out there in LA too now. But you know what I'm saying? I totally agree with Suge Knight's assessment with the situation. he was in a similar situation, but he had a lot of undercover people looking, saying watching him as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it is what it is. So shout out to everybody that bought the Marathon store, especially the brothers. And again, I agree with everything he said. Now let me get to some of the topics I'm going to get into. The NBA playoffs, and we got an upset in the house. We got an upset city, man. So what's up with the Brooklyn Nets, man? How did the Brooklyn Nets fuck around and beat these boys?
Playing Brooklyn ball. I mean, the only known person they got on there is D'Angelo Russell. But hold on, before we do that, let's hold that thought. Jim McWright. Oh, Jim McWright. Remember that video I did about Dale Demps?
Uh-huh.
Okay, who did I say that New Orleans needed to get as either the GM or the president or executive vice president of basketball operations for that team? What name did I say they need to get?
You said the former guy of the Cavs, which I'm not familiar with that name.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
Well, I'll be damned. I called it right. And yes, David Griffin is now the I thought he was GM. He has to hire a GM. He was supposed to be on board as GM, but they elevated him to executive vice president of basketball operations. Now, Griff, please, New Orleans Pelicans fans, if you listen to this broadcast, if you listen to the Jimmy J Smooth Show in y'all travels on YouTube, please do Jimmy J and I one little favor. Get Joe Dumars as your GM, cause y'all two will work so well together. I mean, y'all will work so well together. Y'all have a basketball mind, unlike somebody I know here in Memphis, who I'm gonna talk about after the NBA playoff thing Jimmy want to talk about. David Griffin and Joe Dumars is like peanut butter and jelly. They go together. It's like sugar and Kool-Aid. It blends well together, but it will taste so good. I'm not trying to sound funny. If he gets Joe Dumars as the GM of that team, Anthony Davis will fucking stay his ass there.
I don't know if he wants, but I think.
But wait a minute. But if he get him some help, because Griffin said, "I'll do either two things." If I tell him he said, but I will stay a step ahead of him. That's the one thing that I like about David Griffin. The man will admit he will stay a step ahead of you.
Yeah, but he's a free agent, so
But if he get him some help though,
Davis
that'll probably change his mind. And then he talking about he got to keep Drew Holiday happy. Drew Holiday don't need any more money. I mean, the dude already he already in a 5-year contract for 130-something million. How much more money he need?
Drew Holiday, to me, and I'm just gonna be honest, he's overrated in my personal opinion. That's just my personal opinion. He's overrated in my personal opinion. He got to show me more. It's no excuse for him and Anthony Davis not to make the playoffs. I just don't think Anthony Davis is gonna stay there. His heart, I don't feel he has the heart to stay in New Orleans, and I don't think he, even with that pickup, he doesn't even see New Orleans being even a contender. So I think he's gonna be gone. I don't know if he'll be at the Lakers. I don't know if he's gonna be at Boston, but he's right now the person in the power position is really Anthony Davis because he's a free agent.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't see. I could be wrong, but I just don't see him in New Orleans next year. But that don't mean New Orleans can't be a factor with the fact that they got Griffin as an executive of the team, though. You know what I'm saying? Even without Anthony Davis, they should be in a good position with David Griffin. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So I called it right, and I congratulate David. And on behalf of Jimmy J Smooth and myself, we both congratulate David Griffin for getting that job, because hell, he should have had that job 2 years ago. Matter of fact, right after he got fired from Cleveland, then when they were talking about firing Dale Demps that same year, and this is also the same year in which former NBA commissioner David Stern publicly said that Dale Demps is the ultimate worst general manager in the NBA. So what that tell you? If the former NBA commissioner saying that, then yeah, your team got a problem.
Yeah,
and honestly, Dale Demps should not get a job somewhere else. He should be a scout for somebody. Matter of fact, this is what he need to do. He needs to go back to San Antonio, where his career all started for him, and learn from R.C. Buford how to correctly run a team. I'm not saying that he needs to be the San Antonio Spurs' next manager, because I see what Skip Bayless is talking about R.C. Buford. He is one of the best general managers in the NBA right now, bar none. But I think Dale Demps need to put it like this. Dale brings meat to the table, but does he put enough seasoning on it? He doesn't have enough seasoning.
I agree.
So he needs to be humbled. He needs to get Gordon Ramsay, so to speak, and learn how to cook as far as how being in the NBA front office personnel. Go back to being a scout instead of giving some little no-name guys 90 million contracts for 5 years and they still play like shit.
I agree.
Yep. But the NBA playoffs, though, man, Sixers got their hands full. So I'm going to say that the Sixers are going to go 6 games with the Nets. Toronto will sweep Orlando because I think Detroit intentionally dropped some games to avoid that. Poor Dwayne Casey. I feel Dwayne Casey, even though Dwayne Casey's a good coach, but I feel he deserves better talent on that Detroit team. I mean, yeah, Blake Griffin is good. Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond is good, but it's something missing with that. But when you got Reggie Jackson on there, and what Westbrook and Durant said about him, I can see it. But I think, really, I think Detroit need a mix and match of more shooters and power. They got to pick their tempo up just a little bit next year. I got Toronto sweeping Orlando in 4. I don't even know who Milwaukee has in the first round. Well, but Milwaukee is going to advance.
Toronto is currently leading right now by 1, so they're in a dogfight. But like I say, I'm with you on that one when it comes to that. I think Toronto will wake up and beat the shit out them hoes.
Now in the West, which is a game I'm gonna watch tonight, the Clippers and the Warriors. That's going to be on ABC. That's going to be on regular TV. So I could finally catch me an NBA game somewhere without having to go to a bar. But yeah, I mean, these playoffs is going to be interesting. But I'm going to tell you another upset, though. Well, and it's really a no-brainer. Portland is going to beat. I think Portland can take the Thunder out in 6.
Yeah. I got the Thunder winning. Yeah, Thunder winning in 6.
I said I got Portland winning in 6.
I got the Thunder winning in 6.
Well, bless your heart.
I think the Thunder is a little bit more loaded than Portland.
But they ain't been playing like it though. I mean, because for a while they was like tied for Houston, and now all of a sudden they've been losing games left. They were losing games left and right. So I'm trying to figure out how you gonna go from the 3rd spot to the 7th spot.
But you also got to take in consideration before Houston fucked up, which I'm gonna get into that. Before Houston fucked up, Houston went on a real big winning streak as well.
Yeah, whereas Houston went on a big winning streak, Oklahoma, OKC went on a big losing streak.
Yeah, but I think with the experience of Russell and George, I think they'll pull it out until they. I think they could possibly get to the conference finals if they get their act together, but we'll see about that. But Portland.
Hey, you know what? What if Anthony Davis got on that team?
With who?
OKC.
If Russell keep on averaging the triple doubles that he averaging, that could be a championship contending team. I'm gonna just be honest with you.
Hey, okay. Hey, Sam Presti, if you listening, or I'll call you Sam Presto. Might want to throw your name in here to get Anthony Davis, but you got to trade up somebody. Trade some picks and trade some picks and trade some cash.
Because the question gonna be, do you got to do they got the cap room to get those guys?
Man, they got plenty of damn cap room.
That's all I'm saying.
OKC had every year. Hold on, every year Oklahoma City has plenty of cap. Have by the end of the year, they have the biggest cap space every year.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, behind, wait for it, New Orleans. Every year, OKC has the most cap space. But I got Golden State in 5 against the Clippers. Who Houston got?
Houston got Utah. They gonna sweep them. I'm gonna just be honest.
Yeah, that'll be a sweep. And I think Denver got their hands full with Pop and them.
Yeah, Denver got a bad draw.
But it's gonna be a good series though. That's gonna be a good series. I'm telling y'all that. I can't call. We Jimmy J and I. We gonna say this. I don't know how Jimmy think, but I'm not calling that series there. But that's gonna. Excuse me. That's gonna be something.
Even if Pop loses, they're gonna get exposed heavily, and I think whoever wins the OKC Portland series is going to take advantage of what Popovich exposed, because when you play Popovich, either you better whoop his ass.
No, I think the winner of that series got to play Houston.
No, the winner of the Golden State Clipper series play Houston, because Houston is in the 4 and 5. 1-8, 2-7, 3-6, 4-5.
Yeah, because the 2 played the 2-7 played 3-6. Okay.
Exactly. So they're on the bracket, and I think that's another series that if Houston don't piss on themselves and fuck up, I think they'll end up playing Golden State. But I think that series, if all goes well, I think the Golden State Houston series will go 6 or 7 at least.
You already know,
because they're equally both teams are great shooting teams, but the problem with is Golden State is a better percentage 3-point shooting team. Houston is a team that'll jack up threes. But when they hit them bitches, you finna get ran out the gym. So you better do something about. You better not leave nobody open. So that's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So we made our picks so far. So we ain't making no conference final picks or finals picks just yet. Wait till the first round be over. Wait till the first round be over, said and done with. Then we'll let y'all know. Speaking of Memphis, Jimmy, I don't know if you was aware. Thanks, shout out to our boy Corey Wolf about this. Okay, and once again, I think everybody need to get. I think everybody need to send Jimmy some Logan Steakhouse, mail Jimmy some Logan Steakhouse coupons so he can treat himself to some steak dinners. Or let alone email him some, because he told you Memphis Grizzly idiot fans that JB Bickerstaff was not, I repeat, and this is something I rarely do, I repeat, was not the coach for y'all. He said that. Okay, They went 12-5. They started the season off 12-5. And they went the rest of the way 21, get this, 21-44 for a 33-49 finish. Chris Wallace, former general manager who has been demoted from general manager for the umpteenth time, has been demoted to scout. Well, when he was general manager, Herb said that Bernie Bickerstaff was our coach because he did an outstanding job. Okay. Let me tell you what outstanding job is in real-time eyes. When you start 12-5, and if you go 41-22 the rest of the way, that's 54 wins. No, 12-5. That's That's 53-29. And if you finish 53-29, that is considered an outstanding job.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, Jimmy, I don't know if you've been following the book, but shout out to the Grizz Nation Facebook group on here because I got hip to it. Now, all of a sudden, the owner of the Grizzlies, who doesn't ever show his head until toward the end of the season, after running his Ubiquity company, went ahead and said, I'm firing J.B. Bickerstaff and I'm demoting Chris Wallace to scout. This was five, and what they said, well, and what was so bad, this was 10 minutes right after the press conference. After your former general manager said that J.B. Bickerstaff was still going to be the coach. So now it's speculation about who's going to be the new coach and who's going to be the general manager. So, Jimmy, I ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot. Or as the ball, to quote from Sylvia's fan question email, take the wheel.
Man, the way I feel is J.B. Bickerstaff should have been fired. That's first and foremost because he was a garbage ass head coach. None of those Bickerstaff, the whole entire Bickerstaff family couldn't coach a Pee Wee League team if they had the best talent in Los Angeles. That's how garbage the Bickerstaff coaching is. So I understand why Bickerstaff fired. However, you said Chris Wallace got demoted to scout?
Yes.
I would
hit Corey Wolf up on the Sport Talk. He said it. They all said in the Grizz Nation group he has been demoted to quote unquote a scout.
And I would leave that bitch. Because there's no way you would demote me like that in this lifetime, the next lifetime, or the next lifetime. So as far as that is concerned, if I'm Chris Wallace, I would leave. I would hold my head up high and leave the fuck out the Grizzlies organization. So it is what it is when it comes to that. But the Grizzlies need to do better. They need to go out. They need to bring some better players on the team, first and foremost. I don't know how long we're going to deal with Vasalunas, whatever the fuck this dude's name. I can't.
Valanciunas.
Valanciunas.
He wants to come back.
Well, you can build around that too. But we got to consistently build. We got to consistently get a bench to go along with what we have. And that's just the way it is to it. And the ownership needs to stop being cheap. That's the thing. The ownership just needs to stop being cheap and start going after the players and getting a bench as well. Because I love the grit and grind style, but my thing is they need to probably run a better offense than what they have. So they need to focus on getting a bench as well as getting better players, especially in the draft, so that we can build for the future. I don't know how long Mike Conley gonna stay, but it looks like Conley may possibly leave as well. So we have to.
He's publicly said that he, anytime when Vince Carter came out publicly and said what he thought about the Memphis Grizzlies organization, and he said some things about Robert Perry too. He, in a sense, you read between the lines, he basically in the way said Perry is garbage.
And the biggest mistake Perry did was to get rid of Lionel Hollins, which Lionel Hollins had that team on the right track. But you had people around the media, especially in Memphis, talking about, well, the assistant coach came up with their offense. And then when that motherfucker got hired as the head coach, he couldn't get them past the second round. But Lionel Hollins got you to the conference finals. In 3 of those games, the games could have easily, in 3 of those 4, even though they got swept, in 3 of those games, they were in the game until the last final minutes of the game. Which the game, they could have easily won the series 4-1. You know what I'm saying? They barely lost San Antonio in 3 of those games. So Lionel Hollins had the Grizzlies on the right track. He didn't have the #1 offense in the nation, but the 3-point shooting was getting better. They ran the UCLA high post, but they tried to give the white coach. I don't know who the fuck the coach is. He just got fired from Sacramento, but I digress.
Dave Jogger.
Dave Jogger. Slow ass. They try to give this bitch the credit. And here's another thing. Why in the fuck? Why does every time a black coach get
have a better offense or do well with his team, they always giving the assistant coach all the fucking credit. I don't. How these?
You just asked, that's a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
But let me ask that question one more time. This is a rhetorical question, but it's the same old question.
Disrespectful. Every time a black coach have success, they did the same thing with Dwayne Casey as well. When he changed the team into a motion offense, up tempo offensive system, and they became a top 5 3-point shooting team in the process. In spite of getting swept by the Cavaliers, you know what I'm saying? They gave the assistant coach who currently hired for the Toronto Raptors all the fucking credit for the offense for being changed. And they did the same thing with Dave Yager when Lionel Hollins was the head coach. Why the fuck do they give these white assistant coaches all the credit when the black coach get all the success?
I'll tell you why. Your own question was just answered. Black and white.
Yeah, and my thing with that, I have a problem with that because they did that shit with Lionel Hollins. Well, they're hiring the guy that came up with the offensive system. The fuck? You don't never do that with a white coach. They've never did that. Like,
whoa, hold up. Let me stand you correctly. Let me correct you on that. There's this guy right now who really don't need to be coaching the New York Knicks by the name of David Fizdale. And when he was down there in Miami, they gave him a lot of credit for running that offensive system in Miami. They won them 2 championships.
But you got
but I also got to understand he had LeBron and Wade and Bosh. But I also understand this. A big fuck you to Marc Gasol for getting that man fired. And that was one of the moves that Chris Wallace, and I will admit with Chris Wallace, he was public about that. He was pissed off about the Hollins firing and the Fizdale firing more than anybody. And when you got players like Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and a whole bunch of other cats chiming in about that the Grizzlies was wrong, and and you notice when they said that ownership of the Grizzlies was wrong for having their GM pull the trigger on David Fizdale. They did not say Chris Wallace had anything to do with that. That came from Robert Peary, and Robert Peary is wrong, man. He was wrong for that. Anytime you a first year coach and you almost checkmated Greg Popovich in the first round, you had that man beat in a 7-game series, and because Marc Gasol, he getting soft about. He tell me I need to step my game up more. He tell me I need to play with more killer instinct. He got me out here shooting threes. That ain't my game. Okay, if that ain't your game, why you hitting 45% of threes? Why you was in the top? Why you led the league in field goal percentage under that offense? Come on, dude.
Yeah.
So why, it's a dichotomy, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why the white coaches get credit over the black coaches. It's plain and simple. They don't want to get no black coach credit for anything.
Exactly, because the thing is, and I'm gonna go to the Milwaukee point. Jason Kidd had his 5 starters averaging double figures, including Giannis. Before, damn, I keep fucking up this dude's name. What's this dude's name again for the Milwaukee Bucks? Budenholzer. Budenholzer. Now, I will give Budenholzer credit for bringing and instituting the 5-out offense, which was ran famously by Bobby Knight. I will give him credit for that. But under Jason Kidd's offense, which I didn't pay too much attention to the offense, but I do know the stats. They had similar stats. They were in double figures as when he was the head coach. The foundation of that offense was already set by Jason Kidd. He just brought in a little different offense, and then they brought in Brook Lopez.
You went out, bro. Jimmy.
What's wrong with this shit? Goddamn. But I'm sorry. But with I didn't know Brook Lopez could shoot threes like that.
I didn't.
Hell yeah, I didn't know it either. I didn't know John Henson could shoot some threes like that because he wasn't doing that shit in North Carolina. He was more of a post player.
So he created a 5-out. Well, he instituted a 5-out system that was straight badass. Now he did come from the 4-out motion offense from Greg Popovich, but the only thing he did was he instituted the cuts that Popovich ran at San Antonio and used them currently at Milwaukee. He also used it at the Atlanta Hawks, which is why they went to the conference finals. Which I don't understand why the Atlanta Hawks fired Budenholzer, but the foundation was already set by Jason Kidd. They were already a good offensive team prior to that dude coming there. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Budenholzer because Budenholzer did institute a little different in the offensive game. You know what I'm saying? But their offensive productivity was already there when Jason Kidd was there. It's just there was a problem with management, and then Kidd had personal problems. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But my thing with a lot of these coaches, a lot of these, you damn near don't ever hear it from white assistant coaches when they come to you don't ever hear about assistant coaches off the bench instituting something with white coaches. You didn't hear about Tex Winters until long after Phil Jackson left. Because he did get the triangle offense, which is basically a 3-out offense. He did get that from Tex Winters, but you didn't hear that until long after. But during his career, you never heard that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I wish these people stop disrespecting our black coaches, man.
Thank you. But granted though, now I'm gonna jump the shark for a minute because we ain't gonna talk about football one time on this particular little question here, and that's it, and then we're gonna move on. David Shaw got a lot of credit for being Jim Harbaugh's offensive coordinator at Stanford. So David Shaw when he was the offensive coordinator for Jim Harbaugh at Stanford before he became the head coach.
Yeah.
Had got credit. You know, because I like what Jim Harbaugh said. He said, look, don't credit me, credit my assistants. Credit my guy that's calling my plays. Credit my guy that's calling defensive plays. You know, Derek Mason was his defense. Vic Fangio. Derek Mason was Vic Fangio's assistant defensive coordinator at Stanford before Vic left. Before Fangio and Harbaugh went to the 49ers. So when you look at it like this here, Harbaugh had already had shit in place. And what David Shaw and Derek Mason did before Derek Mason became head coach at Vanderbilt, which I think he got a long way to go as a coach. I mean, in my opinion, that's another subject another time. They built the foundation by adding more to the foundation. They didn't change nothing. Nothing at all after Harbaugh left. They kept winning and winning and winning and winning and winning, you know. But I'm tired of that as well, man. And you know, let alone it's some of the good white coaches that don't get any recognition either because they fall in the same boat. You know, we're not saying the racist thing, but you know, it's more. But it's not as much as a black coach does.
Exactly. It's nowhere near as often as the black coach is. You know what I'm saying? You got some underrated white coaches as well, like the offensive line coach for the San Francisco 49ers, but it's nowhere near the problem that black coaches have, especially when you have head coaches, especially in the NBA, where if you can't make adjustments in the NBA as a head coach, then you know what I'm saying? You're not going to make it in the NBA. Because it's already a handful of black coaches in the NBA too, and in the NBA anyway. But a lot of times the assistant coaches is not making a lot of the adjustments in the game anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm getting at. You know, yeah, there's some less than appreciated white coaches. Let's not get it twisted, but it's nowhere near the problem that black head coaches have. You know what I'm saying? There's some black assistant coaches as well. You know what I'm saying? That's my issue. And that's the problem I had with Dwayne Casey's firing. That's the problem I had with Lionel Hollins' firing. Because Lionel Hollins, he pulled all the black players to the side and told them get their shit together because some of those guys were doing dumbass shit up here in Memphis. And he told them, look, I don't want to see y'all niggas go to jail because it ain't shit out here in Memphis. He pulled all the black players to the side and let them know. You know what I'm saying? Pull y'all damn hands up and shit like that. They respected Lionel Hollins. They played for Lionel Hollins. And them dudes cut for him when they fired that man. So there was no reason.
And another person, the same guy that got Fizdale fired, Marc Gasol, was more pissed about Hollins getting fired than anything. He wanted to lead, dog. He wanted to lead.
Yeah.
He said, because it ain't going to be another coach like him. And he was right. And ironically, which is my next question, Lionel Hollins said on the recent talk on 92.9 ESPN, I think it's 92.9 FM, something like that. He said that if him and Robert Perry could come to an understanding about how he run things, he would not mind coming. He would love to come back to Memphis.
I mean, but I don't think that's ever gonna happen. But
that's not gonna happen. But if anybody that really needs this job, I really don't think now. Let's start with front office first, because even ESPN talking bad about the Grizzlies said the front office is nothing more than a mess. And anytime Vince Carter said that they are a hot mess and that the owner's garbage, he said in subtle ways, professional, nice ways. And shout out to him. And I met that man when they came to FedEx. That's a great guy, man. And I shook his hand. I shook his hand and I told him, I said, man, I've been following you since Carolina, bro. I said, man, you still got it. He said, man, appreciate it, man. And I think I was out there and I was working the head hours and my hands was cold. I say, apologize for the cold hands. He said, hey, I understand you working. You got to make your money. That is a nice, that Vince Carter's a straight up dude, man. So, and I mean, at 42 years old, he's still averaging 70 and he's still dropping in 19 a game. Come on. But as far as the GM goes, I can't say who really needs to be a GM. And like one guy said it best on the Grizz Nation group, Pierre don't want to hire nobody like David Griffin or Joe Dumars. Because, I'm going to tell you why, I'm going to really tell you why. Griffin and Dumars ain't going to take no shit from Pierre. That's understandable. That's his boss. I think Pierre kind of know that. Because Dumars, and that's how they said what Dumars was. Said Dumars, when Dumars was at Detroit, he didn't take no shit from nobody, bro. You know, I mean, it'd be entertain the thought, but and I'm pretty sure Joe Dumars is not going to let some little 41-year-old punk kid want to tell him how to run the team. While Joe Dumars is running the team, Robert Perry was busy racking up dean list statistics and trying to kickstart his company. While he was still eating ramen noodles with tomato sauce and shit in college when Joe Dumars was running the team, you know. So yeah. But as far as the coach goes, Mark Jackson.
Yeah, I think.
But see, but Pierre probably might not want to fuck Mark Jackson, because see, even though Mark Jackson, he's a devout Christian, he's a pastor, he's an ordained minister, he's a pastor. Mark Jackson ain't gonna take no shit from Pierre either. So I think Pierre kind of knows that.
Yeah, and he didn't take no crap at Golden State either.
And he didn't take no shit at Golden State.
You know,
but if anything, if I was Pierre, I hire him.
Yeah,
I will hire Joe. But matter of fact, though, but I'm calling this as I see it. I would like for Mark Jackson to have the St. John's job before he would take an NBA job.
Yeah, I think he needs to go back home and build the foundation of the New York Knicks. I mean, not the New York Knicks, the St. John's job. Excuse me. Because I think he really can recruit out there in New York. He's a New Yorker. Born and raised New Yorker. He definitely going to the right place, because St. John's, for those who don't know, is a Catholic school. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that would work for him. Him not cussing, because from my understanding, all the people that know him, including Reggie Miller, said they never heard a cuss word out of his mouth ever. So, I mean, that would be the perfect place for him. Any kind of Big East school. I think any kind of Big East school. I think St. John's is probably the only job that's open in the Big East, but any Big East school, I would say go after him. My thing is go after him because a lot of those are Catholic schools anyway, and that would fit into his devout Christian because it's easy because it would fit. It would be in his place to do that because it's already a Catholic school. So hey, you know, you can talk about Christianity with those players instead of to people who's not going to relate to you. Because in the NBA, people are going to be cussing on top of cussing and on top of cussing on top of cussing. I'm pretty sure the assistant coaches was cussing on top of cussing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and Mark Jackson was successful for him not to use a cuss word from what I understand because I wasn't a person around him, so but I'm using from what I understand for my purposes. But for him not to cuss, he sure as hell built the foundation for Golden State. So I mean, hey, it worked for him. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm not mad at him. So my thing is, I say St. John's need to give him about $3-4 million and drop off the paycheck. They got plenty of money out there. You got plenty of New Yorkers that go to the St. John's game. You got plenty of parents that would love to send their kids to keep their kids home instead of going all the way to the Puke Devils and to North Carolina and Kentucky Kentucky Foul Cats. You know, who wants to go all the way from New York to goddamn Lexington, Kentucky, all the way to Durham, North Carolina? No disrespect to North Carolina, but who wants to go all the way to Chapel Hill? And that's not a disrespect. I love you, Carolina. So Mike, don't beat my ass for this. But I'm just saying, who wants to have to travel that damn far as a New Yorker to see their kid play? Because typically that's what the place that kids go to. Oh, I forgot about Louisville too. Or as my white friend used to say, Manorville. Who wants to go all the way to Manorville to see their kid play? I mean, I'm just saying he could make some moves at St. John. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, no disrespect to the Carolina fans, I love y'all. Y'all are arguably the best fans in the world, if not the best fans in the world. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not pissing on y'all, but St. John's would fit into the man's narrative. St. John's, he could keep everybody home. He could keep all the top, at least the top guys home. So they'll be the perfect fit for Mark Jackson. So I'm just saying.
Most definitely.
Do you got anything else you want to say before I talk about another subject?
No. I mean, I agree with you 100%, and I think, I think we rock and rolling today on this Saturday show, man. Despite it being raining like it has lost his damn mind outside. Well, who all in the chat? Come on, y'all in the chat, man. Come on in. Come on, Marcus Johnson. Come on, brother. Big shout out to you. Come on.
Now let me
some inputs.
Now let me jump on the playoff situation real fast because I know people are wondering why the Houston Rockets has dropped to number 4. Well, here's the problem. Houston in the early season lost to the Portland Trailblazers twice, which they only played 3 games. The Trailblazers at that point, by head-to-head matchup, they controlled the tiebreaker over the Houston Rockets, which means Houston had to drop. Had the Houston Rockets did what they needed to do and close out the regular season with a win, they would have been tied with the Denver Nuggets, and they would have had the number 2 spot by way of tiebreaker over both the Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets. They went 3-1 in the regular season. I did tell some of the Houston fans that they did kind of fucked up because they're fighting kryptonite in the middle of the movie instead of the end of the movie. And if you're Superman, you don't want to fight Lex Luthor in the middle of the movie. You want to wait till this bitch get to the end of the movie and fight his ass. You want to fight kryptonite at the end of the movie because you don't want to fight him in the beginning of the movie because you know what happened to Superman? He got his ass whooped all throughout the goddamn movie. So my thing is, Houston, if you don't get to the NBA Finals this year, you fuck up. You fuck
dropping that game for no reason, and you had a large lead, man. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? But
you know, and really, and also here's another quick way you can explain it. What was Houston's regular season record at the end of the year? What, 53-29?
Let me go to it because I know they had the same record as Portland. Let me
Do Marie?
Because I know Denver finished 54-28.
54-28. 53-29 would be the. That's correct. So they tied with Portland.
Right.
Portland owns the regular season head to head. So the fact that the fact that Portland controls the regular season head to head and Denver controls the head to head matchup with Portland, that means Denver gets the second seed, keep the second seed. But had that happened, they would have dropped Denver.
Right.
They would have dropped Denver to number 3 and would have kept Portland at 4. Excuse me.
So basically, there's nothing to explain there, but it's just basically just simple fucking math. I mean, because it's in really and truly, the NBA playoffs is all about head-to-head matchups in the regular season, dog. Don't let them say nothing different. Don't let them tell you nothing different. Because if Portland, Denver, and Houston all finish 54-28, you have a problem.
We got another upset in the house.
Orlando beat Toronto.
We got another upset at the end of the fourth quarter. Hold on, let me. According to ESPN.com, it's another upset. Oh my goodness! Yep, it's a final.
Orlando beat Toronto.
I'm sorry, Ty Legacy, man. He's a Canadian, so he gonna represent his. Oh wow. My goodness! Take over real fast. I need to go check on something real fast. Just take over real fast.
All right. Well, Jimmy asked me to take over real fast on a lot of stuff. He got to go check on something. Right now, the Let's Draw Something situation on my show is currently postponed until further notice. Just got to hurry up, give me a laptop and everything. Don't forget the NBA playoffs tonight. First round matchup. DeMarcus Cousins will finally make his playoff debut as a Golden State Warrior as they host the LA Clippers at home. Like Jimmy J said, we got an upset in the first game, Orlando beating Toronto. And I'm gonna need him to pull up Kyle Lowry's stats just for the sake of it. And I'm explaining why. We also had Brooklyn beat Philadelphia at Philly, as predicted. I still think Ben Roethlisberger. I still think Ben Simmons need to improve his fucking damn game and stop being lazy. Because I'm sick of him. But if Jimmy J, if you join me, pull up Kyle Lowry's stats, his final stats for that game, and I'm going to explain to people why. And I'm going to give my reasons to people why to the people why I asked Jimmy to do this, because I have an opinion on Kyle Lowry. Go ahead, Jimmy. Is he there?
I told you to take over, man. I didn't hear a damn thing you just said. I'm just hearing your voice.
I said pull up Kyle Lowry's stats for on that final, and I'm going to explain. I'm going to give my reason as to why I singled out Kyle Lowry when it comes to playoff time.
Hold on for a second. What series you want to go to?
No, just pull up Kyle Lowry's points. How many points he scored and what was his stats for Orlando and Toronto? While I'm waiting on Jimmy.
I'm here.
All right, did you pull him up? Your mic going out, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give me a new mic, bro. Fucking up.
Okay, Jimmy having some technical issues right now with his mic. Bro, I can barely hear you, man.
0 points in 34 minutes of play.
Wait, he scored how much?
0.
All right. This is how many field goals. How many field goals he missed?
Well, he has 7 rebounds. Is this even right? This is according to ESPN. Now, I mean, is this even right? 0. Yes, 0.
Toronto fans, let me tell you something. DTKL. Don't trust Kyle Lowry come playoff time. That's an example reason why. He can't. And I've always equate the Toronto Raptors is the NBA version of the Kansas City Chiefs. They're a good ass regular season team. Hold up. They're a good ass regular season team, but come playoff time, they don't show up. Okay, but now they got Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. And I'm pretty sure probably Kawhi had off game. He can't have a good game every night. But this is no excuse for Kyle Lowry come playoff time. None. He did this fuck shit last year that almost got them knocked out of the first round. And then when he ran into that LeBron problem again, he did the same thing. Now, Jimmy be wanting me to give this man the benefit of the doubt. Screw that. I ran out of benefits. I need more benefits so I give people benefit of the doubt, whether it's with people in my life or whether it's sports people that I like to watch. Kyle Lowry gets no more benefit. He gets no more benefit of the doubts from me. That's BS, man. You scored, and out of 34 minutes of play, you only score 0 points, but you grab 7 rebounds. No, bro. You garbage.
7 rebounds. No, 7 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 fouls, and 0 points. 0 of 7.
You garbage. You garbage.
This dude was scared to take a shot. 7 points. 0 points.
He was scared, but this against an Orlando team is not really that good, man.
Man, oh my goodness.
That's why I say don't trust Kyle Lowry come playoff time. Now, in game 2, if he don't show up in game 2, I hate to say it, Toronto, but it's over and done with. There's no excuse. But we're gonna move away from the playoffs, and it's my first ever edition on mine is Jimmy and myself's first ever edition of bar etiquette for these restaurants. So, and what I mean by this is this: we're not gonna school y'all on how y'all. That's gonna be on another show. We're gonna school the bartenders on that works the bartender at any restaurant or bar, whether it's the ones in Houston. And Jimmy, you can chime in on give an example on the experience you had. And I called out, and I publicly called out the TGI Fridays here in South Haven about a bad experience I had. So without further ado, Jimmy J Smooth Network, on behalf of Craig Smith, proudly presents Jimmy Jam's Bar Etiquette 101.
Well, I think
clean bar.
With bar etiquette, first of all, make sure you clean the goddamn bar. That's first and foremost.
You took that out of my mind. You took that out of my mind. All right. Share your experience, Jimmy. Tell the people why a clean bar is a must. And share an experience share your experience about a bad bar. A badly kept bar.
Well, for me, I've never I'm blessed enough not to go through a fucked up bar. That's first and foremost. I'm very blessed not to really go through any kind of fucked up fuck shit with bartenders and anything, because they kind of know what time it is with me.
Thing is, make sure you clean the goddamn bar. Respect your customers, because you never know, who's gonna tip you and tip you well. That is, and no.
Say that again.
I say know how to resolve conflict as well, because my thing is attitude. Because I've seen bartenders with shitty attitudes, but me personally, I haven't had to deal with that. And with that, if you have a shitty attitude as a bartender, you could get a glass thrown in your face, a bottle upside your goddamn head. Any goddamn thing can happen. So you gotta respect your customers. You know what I'm saying? Respect the people that's paying you the dollar. Don't be no ass kisser either, though. But respect your clients. You know what I'm saying?
Fix your mic.
I'm saying respect your clients. That's the thing. Respect your clients. So, go ahead, man.
I agree with all that. And that was one of the things you have to do. And once again, I'm going to publicly put TGI Fridays here in South Haven on blast, because I'm going to tell you something. Y'all have, and hearing people complain, because like I was up at Starbucks, and if people live in South Haven know the TGI Fridays I'm talking about is right next to Starbucks, like across the street on the side. Anytime when people from Starbucks come in and will say that that TGI Fridays is the worst service, if nobody is there and you taking 45, put it like this: if ain't nobody up in the restaurant but you, and your cook got to take 45 to 50 minutes to serve lunch, you're not getting my service. And I shared an experience about this TGI Fridays up here, in which I came in, the bar was messy. And to quote John Taffer of Bar Rescue, shout out to him, and I love watching his show. If your bar's not clean, don't expect to make no money.
I agree.
And even though he get on their ass, he be real. Don't you expect to make no money if your bar is not clean.
Exactly.
That night I went to the TGI. I'm gonna share this experience in case people who are first time listeners have or whatnot have not heard this story. But I believe this is back in either January or February. Yeah, January. I went up here to this TGI Fridays because originally I wanted to go to Buffalo Wild Wings, in which they would be my next subject on about a bartender. But after this one, okay, they were packed, and Huey's, they were packed as well. Cause ain't shit really Friday, Saturday. You might as well just say fuck it, cause everything gonna be packed. You see, because you'll see the same folks eating there every Friday and Saturday. But anyway, so I went over here to TGI Fridays, walked over there, walked in. I didn't want to get no table. All right, I walked in. The bar was a hot mess. All right. But there was one part in the middle was clean. I said, okay, well, let me try to sit over here on the end. Now, on one end, the end where I sat at next to it, one little section still had plates and shit in to-go boxes that was sitting there for about like an hour and a half. Okay. Bartender came to me, the usual gaga. I said, yes, I like to have a Dos Equis Amber in the draft. We don't have the draft. I said, well, you got the bottle? I said, yeah. I said, we have the bottle. You want that? I said, yeah, sure. I'll take it. Now, Jimmy and everybody, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to say I should have left on this end. Excuse me. I didn't feel comfortable sitting by that spot still with that trash and shit. Okay. So I politely asked the bartender, was she going to get around to cleaning the side up where I was sitting there? I said, because I don't feel, I told her, and I was just being outright real. I told her I don't feel cool sitting, and you expect me to sit at the bar and enjoy my drink, and you still got dishes that's been sitting here 30 minutes to an hour sitting over here. I'm going to clean it up. Okay. So then she took forever getting my beer. Now, the manager and all these other, and you got like young kids too. And that's another mistake you restaurants make. Stop hiring all these damn young kids that ain't got that never learned etiquette from their home, from their mamas and daddies to work at y'all restaurants. More on that later, because I'm going to let Jimmy take the wheel on that particular topic. Also, now been back on that. So I'm on Facebook and, get my beer. Look on the corner of my eye, a fucking water bug crawl up on where the dishes and stuff was. So the bartender gonna tell the manager, a bug and crawled up on this thing. Where them dishes and stuff at. Common sense to tell you, if you see it, kill it and get and remove the dishes from over there. Right or wrong?
Agreed.
Okay, so I bust out loud and said this by being with my little ventriloquism. And I said, You gotta let this shit sitting there. There wouldn't have been no damn bus call. And she was looking around, and the bartender looked around the other way to see who had said it. So eventually, and she still let it sit there. And the manager and the young guy and the young girl, they started sitting there taking containers, mixing drinks up, and all other stuff. I guess she was actually manning. And the manager, she looked like she really didn't have much of a personality, let alone the etiquette either. And she looked like a little hoochie. So when somebody went to sit down, all of a sudden the bartender decided to clean up. Okay. Yes. All of a sudden she decided to hurry up and clean the spot up off real good. And that's when I looked. Okay, now the Dos Equis I got, Jimmy, that sucker was just about as cold as your as your desktop where you got your computer at. Cause that sucker was warm. And I'm like, okay. So I just went on ahead and the beer was hot. So I went ahead and chugged it down. I ain't felt no pain on it. So I ordered, and Fridays have much to be desired as far as their menu goes, because I really feel them, along with Huey's and others, need to have a variety on food. People want to eat steak. They want to eat prime rib or something, like me. I don't mind the usual wings or the mozzarella sticks or whatever. So I went ahead and ordered their potato skins, the mozzarella sticks, and ghost pepper wings. And that was it. And I said, and I ordered me another Dos Equis. So I told her, I said, yeah, that Dos Equis you gave me, I said, that sucker wasn't cold. I said, you could have told me, hey, I just, and when I was trying to get your attention about it, you ignored me. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, you want another one? Yes, I do. Okay. Now the one she gave me was cold.
Right.
But not cold, okay? More like store-bought cold. Suitable to drink, whatever. So I get my food. The damn food the food was hot for about 10 minutes. The ghost pepper wings they supposed been hot. Them suckers wasn't even hot at all. They wasn't as hot as Buffalo Wild Wings as Carolina Reaper and ghost pepper wings are. They weren't even hot. My mozzarella sticks went from being ooey gooey cheesy just to ooh. And the potato skins, they got cold for a while. And I'm like, man, I said I lost my appetite on the shit. Okay, so Moms had wanted me to bring her something back. So to make a long story short on this part one, tell me why her food was the only one that was hot when I got it and when I got back to the house. Because keep in mind, I don't have a car. I walk to TGI Fridays. It's a 10-minute walk from my house to TGI Fridays. Her food was still hot from the time I left there. So when I got my bill, they're going to suggest the tip talking about some $7.60-some-odd. So I told them, I said, no, I'm going to pay for my bill. And after that, that's it. And I pulled up a scathing review on the Google reviews. So if anybody is listening, Jimmy, you can look it up too. Type in TGIF, South Haven, Mississippi, and you'll see my review on there. And I think I won everybody over. I even put them on blast on Facebook by saying that if I'm desperately hungry, I will come back to this place. I said, other than that, they would never get my business again after the service I got.
And they shouldn't get business from you, period.
And they never will. And I'm going to tell everybody this. They live out here in South Haven, anywhere, or in Memphis, Tennessee, and you decide to get something to eat in South Haven. Don't y'all go to this TGI Fridays that's here in South Haven, right next to Starbucks, right in front of the Malco Theater almost. Bad, shitty business, shitty service, and they're just shitty, period. You can make they made all these damn reservations, all they freaking want to, but they didn't make no reservations about who they hired to do their bars, who they hired to serve their food, or whatever, or let alone didn't do no renovations as far as who manages the place. They're garbage. They have a bunch of garbage ass people. They got a bunch of garbage ass youngsters that their mamas and daddies ain't never taught them no etiquette growing up, home training, if you will. Let's just be real, home training or nothing. They don't deserve to be in no work in no restaurant. And if anywhere, if they want to learn how to have some etiquette, have some tact about themselves, two places, the military and, dare I say, FedEx. Because that's what some of y'all asses need to work, learn how to have some humble. As a matter of fact, you want to learn how to be humble, join y'all ass in the military and come back and holler at me. Y'all ass don't. Y'all motherfuckers at the TGI Fridays here in South Haven does not. I repeat, does not need to be open at all.
Yeah.
And if you old folks are giving their business, hey, right on, more power to you. But never again will they get my business from me. Now, Jimmy J, if you want to say something on that before we move on to number 2.
Oh no, man. It just, just keep your shit clean. And, like I said, just respect the customer and make sure the customer is respecting you as well. And don't be bitching about no goddamn tip, especially if you give it a shitty service and your clients and your coworkers are giving shitty service as well. What's the next you want to bring up on terms of that?
Okay. Oh, and well, this also kind of subject because I got a story to tell you about what this young lady told me at Buffalo Wild Wings. What my bartender told me Buffalo Wild Wings a couple days ago. You bartenders that's expecting a tip, okay? Y'all fall in line on this too. And Jimmy actually alluded, gave the prelude to what I'm gonna talk about. Look, when you keep your bar clean at all times. Now, I frequent now since it's close to me Buffalo Wild Wings, and I got a good ass bartender most time during the day if you can catch her. So you got to catch her when she's there. I'm not gonna say her name. She know who she is. And Jimmy, I think if you saw my live video, you saw her because she works on Sunday. She real cool. She gives you good service. And she makes sure she'll ask you, hey, how you doing? And she'll shoot the shit with you. She real. Okay. Now, I have admitted to her, I said now at times, I'll let her know, hey, if I don't tip you then, I'm going to make up for it. And I do. But this one instance now that her relief is a blonde girl. Now she's quitting to go to another restaurant, and everybody question like they don't know why she want to go to that restaurant. She's bad about taking her time to serve people. And it's like this. Let's just say me and you go there, all right?
Exactly.
Now now their happy hour their happy hour has 2 times. From 2 to 7 and from 9 to 11, I think. But I think for some reason they changed the hours of closing. I don't know if it's still intact. But just say me and you went to the happy hour roundabout. We get there, we beat the rush hour traffic before everybody unwind, talk shit about people at work, about the big wigs and the salary folks and shit like that. You and I, we go get the bar, get a drink. We don't, we're there and along a couple others. Let's just say 4 people there. Okay. Whereas my regular bartender will come to us and ask us what we want to drink. Her relief will stick to who the people that's already at the bar shoot the shit with them. Then it'll take her time to come to us and ask us what we want to drink. She's bad about that. And she done it with me a couple times. So, and I'm like this. So when I found out from my bartender how she was, I said, okay. And then they said, well, she's quitting. So I said, well, whoever take her place, I hope they be better. I said, I hope they give me better service. Said this young lady is known to just serve the ones where she'll know she'll get a tip from. And let me tell you something. Y'all gonna have to break that. Well, that's that hustler's mentality. I ain't, in the ways I'm neutral about that. There's no problem with you trying to get your hustle on. However, when it comes to you in the service, customer service, if you will, you ain't got time to pick and choose who you want to get your service to. That shit is out the window. I repeat, if you a bartender, throw that damn into. Hey, when you get inside that restaurant, the restaurant ain't the streets. Let's be honest, and let's just keep it in 100 here. That hustle code be out in the street. When you clock out or whatever restaurant you at, when you clock in whatever restaurant you at, that hustle's code is out. That Ginger Rothstein code is out. And that's the reason why I say Ginger Rothstein is from Ginger Rothstein for casino. Okay, that mentality is out. You do not, if you're a bartender, you don't get to pick who you serve or whatnot because they don't tip. If they don't tip you, you don't stick to the people you know about because you know they're gonna tip you. Because 9 times out of 10, them people that you kissing ass to, they are not gonna tip you. And Jimmy just said, and Jimmy just basically just said it early in the day when we asked that fan question. That applies, y'all. Don't kiss no ass because you're not gonna get a tip. The way you get a tip is how you come for us at service.
Exactly.
If you come to Jim J and ask him, hey, like my bartender, she say, hey Jimmy, hey Craig, how you doing? She see us, say, what y'all guys drinking the same? Yeah, boom. She already know. Okay, they gonna have to use your 2 or 3 Budweisers, whatever. They gonna get their wings, shoot the shit, whatever. They gonna get my money's worth. If somebody ain't gonna tip me good, they gonna make up for it. Boom, no problems. That mentality, that Ginger Rothstein mentality shit that some of y'all bartenders do, you male bartenders bad about it too. That shit is out. Don't take your time serving somebody that won't give you a tip. Maybe you need to read between the lines as to why we don't tip you. If you keep doing the same shit over and over, taking your time serving somebody.
Exactly.
And whatnot. If you keep doing that, you ain't gonna keep getting no tip from nobody. I know Jimmy feel the same way. You ain't gonna get no tip from Jimmy if you decide just to get cute and fuck him over.
No, I'm just gonna walk off.
You ain't gonna get no tip from me if you decide to fuck me over.
I'm gonna just walk off.
But
if I feel a bartender,
but I say that ginger mentality, that is over with.
Oh yeah, if I feel you're not gonna serve me, man, I'll just walk off from your shit. That's just me. How I get down. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even finna sit up here and waste my time with that bullshit.
Sound like you swimming there, bro.
No, I was saying, man, if somebody was not if somebody not giving me generosity in terms of taking their time about serving me, I'm just walking off from your bar and calling it a day. That's just my get down.
Mm-hmm. Or if I see the manager say, well, hey, that's short, and then I'm address the problem. And the manager tell you to come on back if he say, hey, something whatever gonna be on the house, shit. I mean, you ain't got no choice but to say okay, you know. But don't do that. Don't pull that. You know, if you're a bartender, don't pull that hustler's cold shit on people. I don't like it being pulled on me. You know, and another thing. Well, you got anything to add to that before we get to the third subject and then the final topic of the night?
Actually, no, I ain't really got anything else I want to say about that.
All right, and another thing, if you're a server, okay, you better learn how to count, and you better learn how to pay, and you need to learn how to pay attention.
Yeah.
Okay, and then this is just gonna be short and sweet. This young lady at Buffalo was telling me about her husband went to the TGI Fridays and wait for it, the one in South Haven, because they wanted to see if anything changed. Okay, so the dude, so she had said her husband ordered him a Modelo Modelo beer, and he wanted with lime. Okay, so he got the Modelo. All right, but no lime. All right, so he asked the server, he said, hey man, I ordered Modelo with lime. He said, well, could I just get a little couple of lime? Could I get a couple of lime slices? How about the dude bring him back another Modelo with lime? I'm like, are you serious? She said, yeah. So he was like, okay, thanks. And he had to laugh. So, because she had said that she was paying for it because she was taking him out for his birthday and stuff. Okay. So she paid for her meal, paid for her stuff, paid for his stuff or whatnot, and said that she gave him some change because said like the bill was like $20-something or something like that. So she paid for it out of pocket. She said my change. She said, Craig, my change supposed to be $16.34. Said, tell me why I got $6.34 back. And I asked, said, hold on. She said, okay, I gave you $40. And my ticket was $24 and some cent. He was like, yeah. And said, you gave me $6.34. So where's my $10 at? Oh, I gotta find somebody to give me $10. And said it took forever to get that. I'm like,
what kind of fool ass shit is that?
I don't know. You got it. Well, here's a better question. What kind of fool up there what kind of fool is managing that TGI Fridays at South Haven? At this one here in South Haven. Cause y'all are garbage. Cause I'm putting it out there. Y'all are garbage. Y'all garbage, man. If you got a server that can't count, he can tell me, oh, I gotta find somebody to give me $10. Here's the right solution. Don't come back to my table until you have my full change.
Exactly. Totally agree.
Bottom line. I mean,
totally.
You need to learn to pay attention and be honest. Because if I was your server and if I didn't have $10, be like, okay, hey, I need $10 out this register, I'll be pressing on. Hey, I need $10 today, not 45, not closing time, so I can get these folks these change. And also as a server, you gotta know how to speak up. Now, granted, I know the per hour wage is the drizzling shits for y'all with $2.13 per hour. But look, you better make that, and you're getting your money on tips. Let me leave these closing words for you on that until Jimmy J and I touch up on the good subject. Don't get mad because you're not making enough per hour. Don't take it out on us. Hey, I, along with Jimmy J and a few others, would love to see you guys making like $9 to $10 an hour for what y'all do. Y'all work y'all ass off. And y'all get tips, man. Y'all work your ass off.
Totally agree there.
But you can't expect to get what you want. Y'all bitching and complaining for hours, like people complaining and all this other stuff that like McDonald's, they tell me they feel they need to make $13.50 hours, stuff like that. Now, let me give you an update about the McDonald's here in South Haven. They went from being hey, welcome to McDonald's, may I help you, stand in line waiting forever 20 minutes on your order, to basically having stuff at the kiosk. Now, and the only folks that's employed in the back are the ones in the drive-thru and the folks cooking, which I think is good. That eliminates the lazy. Okay? Man, y'all need to have, and really when it all comes down to it, just the bottom line, y'all need to have better attitudes.
I agree.
Y'all really need it. Y'all really need to have better attitude. Y'all really need to have a better attitude. Now, if you I understand if you out the military and let's see, you collecting like 100% medical, or you to retired early and you bored, ain't got nothing to do, and just want to make you some change on the side. Okay, that's fine. But y'all gonna have to stuck. Y'all had to couple the attitudes, learn how to listen. Matter of fact, as Jimmy J and I both said, make sure your bar is clean, because if your bar ain't clean, you ain't making no money. You ain't finna make no money at night from your not just from the restaurant, but from your customers.
Exactly.
Eliminate your hustler code. You ain't in the streets. You ain't in the our hoods here in South Haven is the Brooks Drive, like Elmbrook, Hillbrook, Rosebrook, and all the other stuff, and somewhere else further on around. You not in the hood. You dealing with customers. So eliminate your hustler code. If you want to make a tip, provide better service. And also, finally, last but not least, pay the fuck attention. Have some common courtesy.
Exactly.
You know, and if you feel you getting sick and tired of the job, if the job not for you, hey, quit that day. Do your time out and quit. Don't take it out on the customer.
I totally agree.
You got anything like that? You got anything like that on that, Jimmy?
I agree with everything you said, man, on that thing, man. Just, man, if you're serving people, serve the people. Otherwise, quit that job or do something better. That's my take on that.
Yep. Now we get into the creme de la creme. And this is something I want to know. Jimmy, share to the audience the same problems you have with me about this prom situation.
Well, one of my problems with the prom situation is the parents try to make the prom too much about themselves, as opposed to making it the best night that the kids will ever have.
Mm-hmm.
Or if not, one of the best nights is one of the kids have. You got situations now to where you got mothers becoming the prom date. I've seen shit like that. I've seen it multiple times. I've seen it.
I ain't never seen no shit like that. Multiple
times in the last year or two. Yes, because you had one hood rat, and I say hood rat loosely because that's what the fuck you are. I seen one hood rat because she never got a chance to go to her prom. She got knocked up at a fucking young ass age, like a dumb motherfucker that she is. She ended up going out to the prom with her son. I'm like, what the fuck?
I saw that. I think everybody's making a meme about that.
Yeah, you because you became a young mother, you trying to have an Oedipus complex for your son by taking him out to the prom. Get him a little fine ass little feline. And the mother was beautiful. Let's not get it twisted. But take your fine ass on somewhere and go find him a nice girl to go to the prom with. It's almost like it's almost that was sickening. And then I saw another situation last year to where the woman went to the prom with her son. Similar situation, not quite as crazy, but I'm like, bitch, let the kid enjoy his night out. You know, let the kid enjoy his night out. The only thing you should do as a parent is send him an Uber or send him a limousine or drop him off at the prom and come pick him back up. That's the only goddamn thing you should do. But all these parents out here is trying to make the prom all about they asses instead of making it the best night this kid has ever had. I mean, what's up with this fucking Oedipus complex for your sons and shit like that? This is crazy. Let the kid enjoy his life.
Thank you. And here's another problem I got. If your son or daughter is going to a prom, you don't need to be throwing no fucking Facebook Live or Instagram Live about some fucking arrival party so the whole fucking family from all parts of the US gotta come see your all these fucking arrival parties and shit. Oh, we're gonna have an arrival party here and there. We're gonna have a prom send-off party and all this. Hey, granted, I didn't go to the prom. I didn't even go to my prom because my folks couldn't finance at the time. We couldn't afford to go to prom. They couldn't afford to send me to prom. I couldn't either. You know, I didn't go. And even if they were going front, even though I remember Pop said, well, hey, I'll front your money. I said, Pop, I don't want to go. You know, because I would have felt out of place in my prom because one, I didn't have a date. And by the way, two young ladies found out later on that I was the one that didn't have a date, that I could have took them as my dates. How cool that would have been. And these were chicks that was in the class of 98 that were beautiful as hell. And they still are today. And I'm not going to say no names. They still beautiful to this day. And I'm like, and my partner, my big shout out to him, Quasi Clark, he told me about it. He said, look at them. You could have took them two girls out to the prom and you would have been the talk of the prom. He said, but hey, it's understandable why you didn't want to go. You know, but he understood. But look, these arrival parties and all this other little shit, y'all parents, some of y'all parents today is being, and I will say it, ain't no dare I say it, and I will go ahead and say it. Y'all parents today are being way too extremely extra with all this shit. When when you send your child off to the prom, take the picture, let them go and enjoy itself. That's it, and that wave goodbye, and that's it. Don't need to have no family taking all these pictures and all this other little shit, and it wasn't no, social media wasn't big back then, because if it was, people wouldn't know how to act. All this lives of, ooh, so and so going to this party. It's a party going on. We having a send-off party. We having little Pookie Bell's prom date arrival party. The big arrival. We having little Juju's his boo thing getting ready to come over here, having this little arrival party and such. You don't need to be extra. But I digress. You agree, and I agree. And I'm pretty sure there are some parents out there that does listen to this show. And even one that was an honorary guest on your show with R. Kelly thing will agree as well.
I agree. Yeah.
And believe me, if we had the time, her opinion about it is so spot on. It's so spot on. But she's in the middle of something right now. I don't want to bother. But y'all parents need to stop being way too extra. Not only by making it about yourself and doing all these parties. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If I had a child, son or daughter, prom, hey, yeah, send them off to the prom date and all this other little stuff and that, yeah, take a picture, blah, 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 shake the date's hand, shake his hand, smile with him, and pull him aside like, anything happen to your daughter, anything happen to my daughter, I'm gonna knock you on your ass, something like that, like that, smiling, cheesing, and send them on to their way.
I agree.
And I'll pay for their Uber and send them on their way. And then all my son or daughter has to do is say, hey, Pop, can you get us an Uber back to the house or whatnot? Yeah. Or can see if see if the Uber can drop so-and-so off and then drop me off. Yeah, not a problem. Y'all don't need to be doing it big, because half of y'all probably just as broke as fuck anyway. Because let's face it, y'all finance, because let's face it, some of y'all finance the prom off of Section 8 money or stolen money. Let's be real, stolen money.
Exactly.
And none of y'all ain't got a job. Go ahead.
Me personally, I have the pleasure to finance one of my ex's kids prom date. I was trying to finance the middle boy's prom date, but I had an opportunity to finance his prom and stuff like that. But me, I financed predominantly, my brother financed the prom dress. I mean the prom suits. I'm sorry. Prom suit. And I pretty much financed all my I pretty much financed the all my senior dues and stuff like that, from, you know what I'm saying, getting home and all that other good stuff. So
yeah. Now I
didn't have a problem.
Now I financed my ex's son, not all the way. He because he needed the money because it turned in so he can have everything accounted for. And I told him, I said, yeah, not a problem. That's not a problem. I said, but his son is known to kind of bullshit around sometimes. I said, tell him, I said, he bullshit around. He bullshit on this. I'm gonna bullshit on his ass. I'm gonna get on his ass about it. So he need, make sure he go to the prom, because he graduated last year. So he went. His mama told what I said. He went. So it wasn't like a lot of money. It was just basically kind of like, Ford F-150 money almost, gas money almost.
Yeah.
But like I said, it wasn't no yard, it wasn't no yards or all this other shit. But yeah, he hit me up and asked me if hey Craig, you mind said, Mommy got it. She said, hey, you got extra, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell him out. You got extra $50 you can spare. I said, what's up?
Uh-huh.
He said, I said, okay, well, what's up? He said, well, I gotta have my prom dues in by tomorrow before prom dues in for tomorrow. And if I ain't got the money, I can't go to prom. I got you. I said, I put your mom on the phone. And I told mom, I said, I you get this. I said, don't take all day because it's gonna make me think. And she was known to take all day on a lot of shit. She had so much shit going on. That day she did let me know he got it. And he got that money in on time. He went to his prom. So, and I mean, and that was good. But see, she didn't go all extra either. She went the old school route with her sons. Well, matter of fact, with all three of her sons and soon to be with her daughter too. She went the old school route. Didn't invite the whole family over for this send-off party and for this arrival party. They just took the pictures, click, 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 bye. That's it.
Agreed. That's
So,
what my mother did.
And that's how this shit need to be with y'all little extra ass want to be hood rich ass parents. Y'all need to stop that shit.
I agree.
Even if you are making a nice living or whatnot, y'all ain't got no business doing that shit. Just be normal. Just be normal, man. Just take the picture. Let's see him off or whatever. Boom, and that's it. And let them have some fun. And in fact, shit, like I said, if I had a son, if I had some extra money, be like, here, excuse me, if they ain't serving no good food to prom, take out. It's on me. For real, Dad? Yeah, don't lose it. You know, whatever. But cut that extra shit out.
Yeah,
the moment for the prom is for the child, not for you.
And for the record, even though I did not have a prom date, I ended up taking everybody's prom date. For the record.
I got you. I got you.
Yeah, so when I got in that motherfucker, oh, you didn't have no prom date? Oh, come on, dance with me. I had everybody's prom date dancing with me. So, hey, I took motherfuckers' prom date, and then I took pictures with somebody else's prom date in this bitch. And then I would have took a picture with one of my chicks, but my old football teammate, he got jealous, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, damn, let the bitch take the prom date, but I ain't mad, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
I ain't mad at the folk, I mended it, but I'm like, damn, motherfucker, like, shit, cock blocking ass, shit. Mm-hmm. Hey, but I had a good time, man. I went dolo, and motherfucker was like, shit, I'll be your prom date for the night in this bitch. Like, all right. So shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just good to go dolo in that hole. Sometimes it's just good to go dolo, man.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I was doing on my prom night. I was playing PlayStation.
Oh man. And yeah, I would have went. I had to go, man.
I couldn't afford it. And everybody like Craig, and I really didn't trust what they were saying. So I just stayed home and watched TGI Friday, the usual lineup, Family Matters, hang with Mr. Cooper and all them other stuff. And then I played my PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then everybody's laughing. I'm talking about some. You sorry as hell. Stay at home playing PlayStation, okay? And I couldn't afford it like some of y'all can.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that, man. Because once I have children, if and when I have children, man, I'll make sure they be straight on that shit. They senior dude's gonna be straight from the jump, man. So and I made sure my homeboy, what I'm saying, he, because she paid, his mom paid most of it, the senior dues, and then I paid the remaining balance. I put something on it, then I paid the remaining balance of that. So, and I was glad he had a good time, and then I helped pay for the prom date as well. So, I'm happy that boy had the time of his life and stuff like that. He had his red suit on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I did in Atlanta. Hey, it is what it is, baby.
A zoot suit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. If I had to win, it's probably just been a basic tux. No tie.
Yeah,
I don't like. I hate wearing ties.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, I had a black. My shit was black, so so I went hard with my shit. So it is what it is when it came to that.
Oh yeah, but like I said, man, you know, parents gonna have to. Y'all parents gonna stop being extra and let the child have their moment to shine. It's not all about you.
Oh, most definitely, man. Let me bring up a topic too, man. I saw that James Wiseman did pretty good at the it was the Nike Summit, US versus the World Summit. Mm-hmm. And he scored 12 points. He had 10 rebounds and he had 7 block shots.
Oh.
You know. And here's the thing. Here's the thing with James Wiseman. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's not the number one player in the world because he got the Wooden Award as a high school player. I think he's up for the High School Naismith Award, but I don't know. You know, that's hard to win. He's already won National Gatorade Player of the Year. So he's won a couple of big awards. And the last person to win an award like that was Penny Hardaway because he won Player of the Year at Parade, and I think he won Gatorade National Player of the Year in his high school, but I know for sure Player of the Year at the Parade, you know. Yeah. So he's more like the first real number one player, even though Labissiere was ranked on a few polls as number one player. Penny was ranked according to Parade and a couple of other publications as number one. You know, the guy from Northside, Master Blaster Richard Madison, was ranked number one, but he didn't have the publications that Penny Hardaway had. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he's the first unanimous number one player in Memphis from Memphis, even though other players have been ranked as number one in certain publications and stuff like that. But here's my problem. My problem is ESPN is putting too much motherfucking pressure on the kid. Don't get me wrong, the kid is good. You know, the kid got game, and I hope he becomes number one, or even if he's in the top 15, I don't give a shit. I want him to be. I believe he's going to be a great NBA player, but stop hyping this kid up before he dribbles a basketball. Yes, he looked good against the world. He did his thing. He did a lot better than he did in the McDonald's All-American game, and he scored in double figures at the McDonald's All-American game. But it was one of those games where nobody was really playing in the McDonald's All-American game. But when they represented the world, he represented. He showed out. And let me go to this motherfucker who did this. I know he was from ESPN.
Oh, did you see my tweet? I sent to ESPN.
I saw it. And let me go to the thing because everybody's adding me right now. Hold on. So
you can read it, and you're welcome to read that tweet.
I read it. It was read.
No, I was saying you read. Yeah, I was saying you can read it to the audience.
Mark J. Spears, move over Zion Williamson. James Wiseman is taking center stage, and he's talking to the undefeated, reading Kobe Bryant books, Mandarin, and all that other stuff. And you got a guy from the Kentucky, UK Brady, on Twitter. I'm gonna clown your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? He went to because he said some slick shit about James Wiseman, and I'm gonna have to clown you about it. He said he went to Memphis. No one is taking him serious at all. Dude will be playing in the weakest conference versus the weakest competition. First of all, UK Brady, aka UK Shady, aka UK Tom Brady Dick Sucker. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You don't have a weak conference when you have 4 teams to go to the NCAA tournament. That's first and foremost. Second, Kentucky for a while had been in the weakest major conference for a while. And Calipari, credit to him, he took advantage of that shit. The SEC before, I'll say last year, because last year they had a good season and the SEC had a good season. This year they had a good season. But for most of this time, that the duration of Calipari going there, Kentucky have been playing in one of the weakest conferences major conferences out there. So don't sit up here and piss on James Wiseman because he didn't commit to Kentucky because you couldn't get another Memphis player, which you pissed on Richard Madison's career. Richard Madison should have never went to UK. He shouldn't have never went to the University of Kentucky with that garbage ass money bribing ass Eddie
money
Sutton. Money laundering Eddie Sutton, who shouldn't have never got a chance to. He should have stayed at Memphis. Richard Madison should have stayed at Memphis. You know what I'm saying? And then Scala Labrisier, you just hyped his head up and made him go to the NBA draft. I'm proud he went in the first round, but the kids could have did 3 more years in college basketball. Let's just keep that at 1,010. So the University of Kentucky have pretty much dominated the SEC for the duration of his time, and it has always been one of the weaker conference out of all the major conferences. Now you had a good run in the late 90s, early 2000s, but in recent years y'all have had a good run. But for most of the 2010s, the SEC haven't been shit. And let me tell you something: you can't get them all because the recruiting base Calipari has, and the typical recruiting base that Kentucky has. You're competing with Duke. You're competing with North Carolina and Manorville. Yes, I said.
Hold up, and dare I say it, Kansas. Go on. Jimmy. Oh, his mic done went out again. Jimmy. Man, his mic done went out again. Well, we got some technical issues going on. I don't know what's going on with Jimmy. Jimmy, fix your mic.
Let me see. Try this number here.
Yeah, because I mentioned Kansas, man, and you was about to say something, and your mic just went dead.
Yeah, it just went dead. I'm gonna have to change this entire microphone altogether. I'm about to go back to the store. But anyway, you're competing with Kansas, UK. I mean, you're competing with Louisville, you're competing with Duke, you're competing with North Carolina for the same type of players. Because y'all recruiting base is basically the Midwest, New York City, and mostly East Coast. You know what I'm saying? And you're competing with other teams. You can't get every last one of those players that come out of those cities. And you damn sure can't get people that consistently come out of Tennessee day in and day out, because Tennessee, Rick Barnes is doing a good job of locking in, of getting talent. They're doing a damn good job of getting those guys. So why are you mad, UK Shady? Why are you mad? UK has the University of Kentucky has won 30. I don't know how many SEC championships y'all done won, but y'all done won enough championships for a fucking lifetime. You're only second behind UCLA, which UCLA got 4 more championships. But hey, they're in California, so they're supposed to win more championships than y'all asses, because UK got to really go out y'all way to recruit these guys. So don't sit up there and hate on Memphis because a kid stayed home and didn't want to go to Kentucky, where most likely there's a good chance that he may lose his starting position and shit like that. Sit your ass down and enjoy the ride, goddammit.
Is he on Twitter?
Yeah, the UK Brady. He's on Twitter.
You ought to reply to that shit.
And
everything
I did.
You said you ought to reply to this shit.
And I did, and so did Memphis basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something about your coach Calipari. You done fucked up now.
He's a crook.
Number one, that hoe's a crook. Number two, he's a system basketball coach, which is why he only been to the championship game twice. He's only been to like 3 or 4 Final Fours, I think, since he got there. Which y'all should have been to more championship games than what y'all lost. Y'all should have more championships. This dude have recruited half this decade. He's got the number 1 recruiting class and hasn't done shit with the number 1 recruiting class, but win 1 championship out of the 10 years he's been there. So sit your ass down and enjoy the ride that Memphis is doing. And Gonzaga currently got the number 1 recruiting class. You know what I'm saying? Because people getting tired of getting screwed over by Coach Cal, goddammit. So sit your ass down, dude, and stay.
Here's another thing. And he said something about what Memphis plays against weaker competition in the conference. Okay. Last time I remember, Memphis, even though Pazner was the worst coach, and with under Tubby, under Pazner, and dare I say it, under Cal Crook, and even went under Penny. And I think that's Penny's flaw. He needs to schedule some tough opponents. But with them last three coaches, they stayed playing some tough competition. Kentucky's scared to play fucking Gonzaga. Memphis did it twice. Back-to-back years, Memphis played Gonzaga twice. Has Kentucky played Gonzaga? No. Has Kentucky played Memphis? No. Don't get me and Jimmy J. And matter of fact, let me tone myself down. Don't get me and Jimmy J started about the Wichita State screw job.
Exactly.
Because y'all know damn well y'all are a seed, and y'all lost that game under questionable. Y'all knew damn well y'all lost that game. And and as biased as ESPN is, be with Kentucky and with Duke and with everybody else, that had the whole sports world fired up.
Exactly. Because there's no way Wichita State should have lost that game under those circumstances. Them to go undefeated and lose under questionable circumstances like that, come on.
To a no-talented Kentucky team.
Exactly.
They had a matter of fact, which they had a top 5 recruiting class at that, and they finished like what, a 9th seed?
Yeah, Kentucky was the 9th seed. Wichita was the number 1 seed, but they wasn't the number 1 overall seed.
And Wichita State, they played in the Missouri Valley, but Wichita State played some damn good competition out of conference though.
Exactly, because they beat a ranked BYU team. They beat a ranked St. Louis team who made the second round of the NCAA tournament. They played some pretty tough guys. They beat VCU that year, who still had Shaka Smart that year. So they wasn't playing no putty patrols. They had their schedule was just right. You know what I'm saying? Yep. So don't sit there and talk about my conference when my conference have consistently had ranked opponents, have had people that have good non-conference wins and shit like that. Sit your ass down, UK Brady, UK Shady. Sit your ass down somewhere. But back to what I'm saying about James Wiseman. James Wiseman has all the goods. And I feel like and this is my personal recollection. I'm not sure how true it is, but I felt like he made the right decision by going to Memphis. And the reason why I'm talking about moving to Memphis to play high school basketball, because he's originally from Nashville. But with him being in Nashville, I don't think he would have ever won a state championship, especially with those Brentwood Academy teams with Darius Garland and those guys. Him and Ryan Boyce made the decision, hey, let's go to Memphis East and get us a championship, help them win a championship. You know what I'm saying? So he made the right decision by coming to Memphis, but that was a blessing and a curse because now you're in the hoop city, and now ESPN can give you more attention. And the fact that ESPN is giving you more attention now, because Nashville, I'm not gonna say Nashville's not a basketball city; they're more so a football city. But with the number of McDonald's All-Americans coming out of Nashville, I say they're a close second place in terms of major cities that have baskendball talent. But him going to Memphis, shit. I mean, his number 1 ranking was waiting on him. That's the way I look at it. Because I think he would have been a top 5 at best, but I don't think he would have ever gotten to the number 1 position. And then he was playing for the best team in the state, which was Memphis East. So with that being said, James, if you're listening, don't let the pressure go to your head. Now I'm gonna wait until 10 games go by, 15 games go by to get my assessment. I'm gonna give you props if you do a good job in the first game or have a big game, but just stay focused. You know what I'm saying, and do what's best for James Wiseman. You know what I'm saying? Don't let them dash your heads up and say move over Zion. Zion was destined to be the number 1 player. And I feel like he will be the number 1 player, with no doubt in my mind. But don't let the hype go to your head. Do you have anything you want to say about that?
No, but like he said, don't let the hype, because I'm gonna tell you something. We're gonna hear it all season long from Dick Vitale. I tell you, baby, James Wiseman, baby, he's the man, baby. Dipsy Dude Dunkaroo, he's a blue chipper from Memphis East. I heard Jimmy J. Smooth on YouTube, baby, said he was originally from Nashville. I tell you now, baby, James Wiseman, he's the #1 pick in my book right now, baby, and he hasn't even dribbled the ball yet. And we're here, and this is the month of April. I can't wait.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I can't wait. Dipsy Dude, Dunkaroo.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, dude. I mean, come on, give us the Kentuckies and give us Kentucky and Memphis. Give us the Cincinnati Kentuckies and give us Cincinnati and Ohio State, baby. Give us Memphis and Ohio State or something, baby. We need to say James Wiseman again. This is the month of April. He hasn't even dribbled the ball yet.
Yeah,
Don't let the hype go to your head. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Boy, but man, we ain't got nothing to add, man. We went the distance on this show here, so we had a lot to cover. Right now, I'm finna go ahead and catch Golden State and the Clippers now right now. So see how Boogie Cousins hold up. Probably on the next live show, we speaking of Boogie Cousins, we'll probably talk about him and the Durant situation. Let's just say it like this, and I'm gonna leave it and gonna close the show on that. I don't think Kevin Durant going anywhere. I think Draymond got to go. But I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave that alone till another day. So I got nothing to add.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with that. In terms of Draymond, so I think Draymond is got to go. I think they're gonna end up re-signing Boogie Cousins as well. That's if he's not asking for nothing crazy, but we'll see what Golden State does. I'll make my prediction of what's gonna happen once they play the Rockets, because this is a crazy that series is very crazy. So that could go either way. So it is what it is. So you ain't got nothing else. If you ain't got nothing else, man, this your boy live and direct in full effect out the 832 with my boy out the 662, and y'all already know how both of us do. Peace out, and don't drink and drive, man. So stay alive. Peace out.
And the pleasure has been yours, all yours.